All right, what up, y'all? I'm afraid for Bobby Lashley. I'm afraid for Bob because there's certain superstars that are on the AEW roster that Tony Khan brings over, like Mercedes Moné and Ricochet, that aren't being handled the right way. And I'm afraid that Bobby might end up with that exact same fate. Now, you look at Bobby, he passes the eye test, you know what I'm saying? If you don't even know who Bobby is, if you've never seen him before in your life, you see this huge man walk out, you would assume he's the real deal, you know what I'm saying? He passes every test just before he opens his mouth. Now, he's not a good promo, but he has MVP. So, he's cool. He doesn't need to talk, you know what I'm saying? He could be the silent assassin. MVP to the talking, Bob go in there, do a dominator, do a spear, 1, 2, 3, we can go home. I need Tony Khan to book Bobby Lashley. And hear me out on this one. Just hear me out. I know it's going to sound crazy when I say it. Some of y'all may feel me. Some of y'all may not feel me. I need Tony Khan to book Bobby Lashley the way WWE booked Ryback in the beginning. Now, hear me out. We all know Ryback a goofball. You know what I'm saying? This is not a Ryback support video. What I'm saying is they made Ryback look like he was the most unstoppable thing. He didn't say a word. He was just out there winning handicap matches, you know what I'm saying, destroying local competitors in 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute flat, you know. He would go in there, do his thing, hit a finisher, 1, 2, 3, and did not say a word. Ryback started to go off the deep end when they put a hat on his head and started to have him talk and give him nicknames. That's where Ryback started to lose his thing, and next thing you know, he a goofball the way he is now. But with Bobby, just do it like that. Don't say nothing. MVP could say whatever. Bobby go in there, win matches. He shouldn't be in the ring for more than a minute 30 for the next few months of him just building him up, you know. Now, I'm worried that they're going to just throw Bobby and Swerve at us immediately, you know. And that's what I'm afraid of. I don't think we should be getting Bobby and Swerve at any point right now, you know. But, you know, the way Tony Khan books, as soon as he sees a dream match on the table, he just does it. That's why Ricochet and Ospreay was done way before it was supposed to, you know? So if we're going to do this the right way, if we're going to do this the way in which it really should be done, Bobby and Swerve shouldn't happen until like 3-4 pay-per-views from now for AEW. And until then, Bobby has to be completely undefeated, say little to no words, and just win quickly. That's it. That's all we need from Bob. We don't need anything else from Bob, because anything else, I think, really throws the risk of you messing up the presentation of the superstar, you know. And I want him to be booked in this very particular way because Tony Khan doesn't know how to do things. He doesn't know how to pull off multi-layered storylines yet, you know. He's still trying to figure out how certain superstars are like even fully executing parts of their story. You know, he doesn't know how to execute certain characters. He doesn't know how to execute certain storylines. So what you got to do is stay simple. Stay simple. Pretend as if no one knows who Bobby Lashley is, and make sure everyone knows that this man is the most unstoppable being you've ever seen in your life. And then you get to Swerve. And then really beat Swerve too. Not in a minute, you know what I'm saying? I think Swerve deserves more respect than that. At least, you know what I'm saying? But when he gets to Swerve, Bobby has to be completely undefeated. Swerve has to be the one, I'm going to be the one to beat him. And then Bob runs right through Swerve too. So then you can build credibility up with him. You can differentiate the character between what he was in his last few months of being on Raw and SmackDown. And then you have a superstar. And you don't have to do much. And you add legitimacy to the Hurt Syndicate or whatever they're calling them. And you make it easy. You don't make it complicated. You're not adding too many match stipulations. You're not trying to do too many things that don't need to be done, you know? You make it simple. That's what Tony Khan has to do, right? Tony Khan has to work on simple booking. All the multi-layered stuff, he tried it. It doesn't work for him, you know? And especially when you're working with a stable that has multiple people. Well, all stables have multiple people, but you know what I mean. When you're working with a storyline, I should say, that has multiple people in one group, you have to be able to differentiate every superstar in the stable and then show everyone in the crowd why they are stronger together than apart. And Bobby has to be the Roman Reigns of the group. You know, he has to be the standalone. Shelton can stand alone, but Shelton had a great match against who was that? Leo Rush. He had a great match last Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Best part of Dynamite. That boring behind show, Shelton and Leo were the best part of it, you know? But Shelton can't go the way he used to. And I don't expect Shelton to be wrestling every single week. I think he's wrestling this week against somebody. I think Sammy Guevara. But, you know, if we're doing that, I would keep Shelton on ice too. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't wrestle Shelton as much either because I want to keep a certain protection around this group, you know? I have to. At least until you throw Swerve in there, and then whoever, if someone comes to help him, you know, assuming he gets jumped, you know, I don't know who would come out to help Swerve, but somebody would, I assume, you know, and you just work off that. But Tony Khan has to be able to deliver the storyline in a way that makes sense. He can't just throw stuff at the wall and say, all right, let's give Bob a microphone. No, please don't do that. If you think Bobby's a good promo, just look up Bobby Lashley promo. I don't have to tell you look up a specific one. Look up Bobby Lashley promo. He's had multiple promo battles against certain superstars, and some of them were good promo battles. Like some of them, he like enunciated himself well, you know. But Bobby's better when the bell rings, you know. You keep that man a silent assassin, and you have yourself a money superstar. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't give him an over-the-top character. You got a manager for him. Give him a cool theme song. I'm sure they're going to give him a different name besides Almighty. He'll be the all-powerful or the terrifying. They'll throw some different name on him, you know. And then just work. Simple. Oh, and no headband. Please, no headband. Do not put that headband. I hate when you wear that headband. No headband. You know what I'm saying? But make it simple. Make it simple enough so the person who turns on AEW Dynamite for the first time and sees Bobby Lashley for the first time in their life knows, oh, this man's the real deal. He shouldn't be messed with. We should watch out for this guy. That's all we need to know. Let's just assume that no one has ever... Let's act like Bobby is an up-and-coming superstar and he's trying to find his way. That's what you have to do. That's the only thing that you can do to make it sustainable, you know? That's the only thing you can do to make sure that this character is something that can latch on to the casual fan and, of course, the sickos, as Tony Khan weirdly describes his diehard fans, you know. And then you got yourself money. Now, what happens after the Swerve match, I don't know. But I am very worried that Bobby and Swerve is going to happen fairly quickly, you know, quicker than it should. And then at that point, we're kind of losing the plot already. So I'm hoping that Tony Khan doesn't do that. I'm hoping, you know. I'm expecting, but I'm hoping that he goes a different way because we don't need to see that right now. We have to build up to that point. Swerve is considered to me an upper echelon superstar in AEW. He just was world champion, you know. So Bobby, as good as Bobby is, he has to work up to him. He can't just walk in there and just beat Swerve. And then what? What story are we telling then? And Swerve really can't beat Bob. No, Bobby has to be undefeated. Bobby can't lose to anybody. You know, and assuming that Darby Allin's going to be the next world champion, assuming Darby and Hook and Garcia and all them take down Mox and them, you know, then you have someone who can beat Darby. But that's way in the future. I'm booking weeks and months down the line. You know, we got to take this week by week. And I know Tony Khan said that he doesn't. Apparently Tony Khan doesn't like doing long-term booking, which I think is one of the most idiotic things I've ever heard anyone say, you know. But let's just hope that he has a change of mind when Bobby walks in the room. We can't do week-to-week booking with Bobby. We tried to do week-to-week booking with Mercedes Moné, and now she's a heel that's not a good heel and trying to get heat on herself and Camille, and it doesn't work. You have Ricochet, who is already wrestling on Collision, which to me is the kiss of death, if I'm being honest with you. There's so many superstars that are being underutilized and misused on the AEW roster. Bobby Lashley cannot be the next one. He can't. He cannot. It would just be another fail in the book of huge fails by Tony Khan. And I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying to hope that he can use some logic here. You know? Hopefully. Perfectly. you know. But y'all let me know how you guys feel about Bobby Lashley, man. Do y'all think he should go undefeated? How do you think AEW should book Bobby in the first, let's say, 6 to 8 months? You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure some of y'all have a lot. You might look at it differently than I do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure all of us can do it better than Tony Khan. You know what I'm saying? But y'all let me know in the comments down below, man. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe if you're new. Subscribe if you have not already. Comment down below what kind of video you want me to do next. Stay safe, drink water. I love you guys. Praise God. And I will see you in the next video, man.